Hello everybody, it's Rory Pratt from Pratt's Pods. I just wanted to go over a quick iPad repair, just to show people the acceptable standards set by some other companies, compared to what we do for people. So I'm just going to set this camera up on a stand, and we'll show you this iPad that we've just found. So I'm here with an iPad 7, I believe. Yes, so this is only a couple of years old at the time, and I'd still say for a lot of people this is an expensive bit of kit. I know I can't go out and just buy one of these tomorrow if I wanted to. So as you can see here, this screen is lifting. That's obviously problem number one. See all these marks? This is all dust inside that screen where it's lifted. Obviously, so that dust is going to stain, and that LCD that is staining costs 100 and no, costs £210 to replace. So whoever did this touchscreen before, which also doesn't seem to work properly, a minute ago it was just ghost touching. Let's see if we can get that back. There you go. So this screen doesn't work. They've caused further damage of about £210. And this was an acceptable way to let this iPad leave their shop. Now I can go round this with a nail, literally my fingernail. This iPad has had no heat. So to open an iPad, you should need to heat it. But this iPad is just opening. Now I am just going to use a plastic card to do this corner bit because my fingernails just simply aren't long enough. But that is absolutely shocking. So on first opening, let's just have a little look and see what other problems we find here. So down here we have a pretty major bend in that flex cable for the home button. Now that could affect Touch ID. That is bad, but it looks like it's okay. Let's have a little look at this home button. That home button, well, first things first, it's not stuck down very well, is it? That's incredibly loose. Secondly, there's this, which is supposed to be above that bracket. That bracket can't stick on top of its own flex. That's just a little bit silly. Let me try and straighten this camera out a bit so you guys can see a bit better. Right, so that's been stuck down like absolute rubbish with some tape that doesn't even really stick to anything, so not good at all. The nipple's still there, happy days. So there you go, there's another problem. Now, what else can I see on this? So if we go up here and show you up the top of this iPad, right here, there is supposed to be a bracket that holds your camera into position so that it always looks through that hole properly. And that is nowhere to be seen. It's not on the camera and it's not on the glass. So that's just gone. Brilliant. That needs replacing. Um, what else can we see? What else can we see? That dust mark, like I said earlier, that is bad. We will clean that up the best we can, but I'm never going to be able to promise the customer that we can get that off. If we can't, the only option, it's not coming off at all, is it? The only option, if they really wanted to get rid of that, would be to replace the LCD, which, like I said, costs £210, so not really worthwhile doing. So on the edge of these screens, grab some tweezers, there is foam tape. This foam tape is great stuff, but you need to replace it when you replace the screen. I don't know of anyone else probably in Berkshire that does this, to be honest, because no one seems to do iPads properly. So that foam tape should have been removed and replaced, and then that dust wouldn't have got in there. Even with that screen lifting, if they have replaced the foam tape, that wouldn't be a problem. Now let's just go down here. So what I can see is that they have used some really low quality black tape that doesn't stick. And they know that they've done that. They know that this doesn't stick because if you look closely, they're also using superglue. And now, you know, when a repairer is using superglue to seal up a device, they have no idea what they're doing. Not only do you not know what they're doing, you know that they don't care if this ever comes back to them. Because if you've ever tried to clean superglue off of the frame of an iPad, which I don't expect our customers to have done, you would know how difficult that is and how much of a pain in the backside it makes it for the next person to open these. Not only that, But if the super glue had actually done its job and stuck the glass to the frame, then when this cracked, it would shatter into 1,000 pieces, and we would be picking off tiny shards of glass. So there are so many problems with this repair, and this is something we see daily. So it's just a real word of warning to customers that please, please, please do not go for your cheapest option. Now, we are really a step ahead of the rest with iPads. The way we do iPads is a very unique method. We worked on it for years and years and years before most of these other repairers even started to pick up a screwdriver. So, I mean, I'm not going to say you have to use us, but please use someone more reputable than these guys that are one-man bands and are working from home. And this isn't a white label for everyone that works from home. I used to work from home, and there are some really good guys that work from from home, from their living room, from their kitchen. Some really good people, and some really well-trained people too. But whoever this was, this is not one of those people. This is the sort of person that's going to take this iPad in, throw a screen on quite literally, cause all kinds of issues, and then fob you off. Now, this customer really should have gone back to them, but for whatever reason, they didn't want anything to do with it. So it's tough because once you've received bad service, the last thing you want to do is go back to that person. So please, please do focus on using the right person first time. I'm going to crack on, get this iPad fixed now. I'm not going to video the whole thing, I don't think, but I'll see if I change my mind. So I didn't do the whole video, but just to show people the difference here on this iPad. So the screen burn is still there, although not very noticeable. The frame is lovely and clean, and that has been primered. We have our foam tape along the edge of the screen. That will keep any nasty dust out of the screen. We have genuine Tessa tape, and we have a taped and cold pressed button, nice and neat, all in the right place, all fully working and clicking well. And on top of that, we have our camera bracket back. So this is how it should be done, compared to whatever the heck that was I was looking at before. We're going to get this one sealed up now, and we'll be ready for our customer to pick up in the morning.